Action.
This is salted cod, and what I think is the most interesting thing is that the same box. It is prepared the same way as when I was a child. They've always put it in these little boxes.
Nice.
So this was salted cod, a dish that Grammy always had. And it used to be like when my children were little, I could buy one of these for $1. Now I think the last time I bought it, it was like $14 or $15. But in any case, unless it's on sale. The first thing you have to do is you have to soak it and get rid of the salt. So once you've done that, and they say either 24 hours to an hour. So I do an hour, but you can actually taste it to see how much salt is in it, and I can do that right now if that won't make you all upset. So I'm just, I just washed my hands, by the way. So I'll just see. No, it's good.
It's not too salty?
No. No. So then obviously you have to cut it up. So you cut it up into small pieces, and then you need to parboil it. Parboiling means you just simmer it for a few minutes until it gets cooked enough, because it won't cook in the roux that you're making. So you probably don't have to keep watching me do this, John. You just need to cut this smaller piece.
Did Grammy ever used to make this?
Oh, all the time. Well, it was a normal meal for us to have. Just like often on a Thursday, we would have pea soup and cornbread, and we never had baked beans and hot dogs, because all of my friends had baked beans and hot dogs on Saturday nights. I don't know what we would have. We'd probably have a roast. So what we're going to do, I can see that water is ready. I'm just going to put it in the water. It'll probably take about 10 minutes for it to simmer. Okay. This is a wonderful knife that actually Crystal and Hannah gave me many years ago. I guess I didn't remember how much.
Fire's going. So you don't really want it, just parboil it. We're not going to cook it.
Right, no.
Just get it going.
Right, well, it has to get done.
Cooked.
Yes, I mean, you want it cooked, but you don't want it to be, so I'm just going to put the timer on for maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, I am making a roux. A roux is when you take any kind of a vegetable oil, but I'm using butter, and then you put flour into it, and you basically begin to boil it, and it begins to get thick. Now you do this so that when your sauce will not lump. If you do not do this, you are going to have a lumpy sauce. So now, you want to show what it looks like? So this is the roux, and now I'm just going to put the milk in it. And you gradually put the milk in it. So you put a little bit and you stir it and you let it come back, and it's going to get thick. See? I don't know if you want to show it. It's very thick. And then you just keep adding. So basically when you cook, you need to give yourself time. And you realize how wonderful it is that you are able to make something and you're creating something. Yes, you hope somebody is going to enjoy. So you have to keep doing this. Now I'm probably going to be using, I'll use all of this. We have a half a gallon of milk here. So, oh gosh, the rice is too much. Now, again, you need to let your roux get back so that it's the liquid, which is usually milk, but it could be, well, if you're making a gravy, it's not milk. It's going to be the drippings from your gravy. But the whole secret is to cook the flour with the whatever shortening you're using, butter, whatever. And if you can see in here, it's perfectly smooth. There's no lumps or anything. But again, it takes patience, which is a great virtue. Seldom found in women and never found in men. As Gramie always said. Bless her heart. Such a nice person. This is obviously going to take a while. I once bought a thing that I thought was brilliant that you put in the pan and you put it in and it's supposed to stir it for you. Didn't work.
Oh, the gadget?
Well, it probably would work in a little small pan, but it didn't work in a normal pan. Now this is a Swedish vis. This is the nicest vis that you can find. But I can't find them. Like I bought one from Pampered Chef and it works, but oh, this one is just perfect. I've had this for, gosh, I'm sure Grammy gave it to me. She probably brought it to me from Sweden. So you see, the only thing we're going to do, we're going to make this roux. We're going to add the salted pork, which has been
cod.
Oh, pardon me, the salted pork. Oh, another meal with the salt pork, cod, and then we also add boiled eggs, which are in the refrigerator, which I know that John will be very happy to take out and cut them up.
Sure.
Won't you, John?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, see, this is getting thick now. But the liquid has to get hot.
What are we gonna use for spices? Like white pepper or something? Regular pepper?
Well, I have white pepper. Yeah, white pepper makes much more sense. Which I actually do have some white pepper.
Do we do dill? It doesn't have a lot of spices in it, does it?
No.
It just kind of takes on its own taste. The eggs give it a lot of the taste, doesn't it?
Right. Do you want to?
Okay, so we're ready. Let's do. I'll go get some eggs while you do the roux. All right.
Yeah. Other way, and now you've made it into little pieces. Right? You go this way, and you slice it. Then you want to make it small, you turn it the other way. And now you have pieces. There we go. Simple. And we need to go back to the roux, or it's going to be burning. Now, if you don't have one of these wonderful egg slices, you can just cut it with a knife. But this certainly saves time. Something is there that's cooking too fast and it's making me nervous. Okay, there we go. Ah. I have this woolen sweater on, and I have some long underwear underneath it, and I'm stirring on. It's not because I'm almost 86. It's just because I haven't taken it off since I went to church, because it was only 8 degrees when I went to church this morning.
Are you hot now?
Yes.
Well, we want to get on a video that you're undressing your layers.
Not only that, well, look at that. You can see my long underwear hanging out.
I don't think anyone else saw if you didn't say something about it.
Well, I just told them. It doesn't matter.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
We are making a roux. I have to say some comment about someone that you will know, and I will not name the person, but they don't live in the state of Maine. But when I said I was going to make a roux, this person who lives down south said to me, "What do you mean you're going to make a roux? How do you know what a roux is?" And I said, so I said, well, this is what a roux is. And that person said they thought the only people that made roux were people that lived in Louisiana. It was not Susan. And I went, oh, okay, that's a little fallacy. It's what you call it. It's what you call a roux. We just don't happen to make gumbo as often. Isn't that funny? How people you have those conceptions of what people, it's like everybody thinks that Maine is so terribly cold. My gosh, you go to other places out west and you can't even walk outside. Okay. The firecrackers. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in here. I still have to make it, it's not hot enough, see? It has to get, but if you don't keep stirring it, it's going to burn. See how good this is for your wrist? See, I'm taking my Tai Chi course. I could stand and do some of my exercises. Right? Oh my goodness. They have one that's called walking, and that's actually what you do, but it's so hard. You put one foot in front of the other, and then you put the next foot next to it, and all of a sudden you're going like this. It's like, and the instructor said, it's okay, just keep doing it. Of course, we're all old. Everybody there is old. Mature, right?
Yes, be politically correct.
Yes. It's all in your mind. Well, in your body.
You still have a mind.
I do still have a mind.
Yeah,
Although I was thinking pork, thought I was making pork instead of cod. I really didn't. I was just thinking I use a lot more pork than I do cod. Come on now. This needs to get higher. Oh, you know what might be interesting? Which you could actually look up, but when you make a roux, you sort of you need two tablespoons of butter plus 2 tablespoons of flour for every cup of liquid. So like of every cup of milk. Yeah. So I had a half a gallon of milk here, so I had to use 2 sticks of butter. It's good for the heart. And 16 tablespoons of flour, right? Tomorrow we will fast because we're eating too much food. It's all how you look at it. And none of it's sweet. That's the worst thing, sugar. And bugs.
You don't eat the bugs?
We're eating bugs. Well, I don't buy processed food, but according to what's going on in the world today, we're eating mealworms, right? And crickets, and what are some of the other things we're eating? I mean, it's like, oh goodness gracious! Pretty soon it's gonna be mosquitoes and ants, right?
Oh gosh.
Oh come on! This needs to cook because I can see that part of it's beginning to. You really don't have to show me doing this.
Rowing.
Yeah.
Rowing your
Rolling,
roux.
rolling.
Rowing your roux.
Rolling my.
Rolling your roux.
Oh, speaking of that, when you said that, I do not like movies. I've gone to maybe less movies in my life than I can imagine. We seriously went to a movie called something about the boys, and it's a true story. And it was about rowing, and it was in 1942, and these young men from the United States won the Olympic. They went to Germany, but they were from the University of Washington, and they actually came to the East Coast and raced against Cornell and Harvard and all the Ivy League schools, and they won, and nobody could believe it because all the rowing was such an elitist thing to do. And they ended up going, and it was the varsity team. It wasn't even it was a junior varsity team. And it's a great movie. Boys in the Boat, I think is the name of it. Oh gosh, this isn't. You can see you need time if you're going to cook.
Not the spice. Time like a clock.
Yes, T-I-M-E, not T-H-Y-M-E. I think I'm going to put this in.
Okay, here we go. Putting in the cod. So that's how it is, huh? Right there. Boom.
And then we've got to put the eggs in.
Oh, yes.
But it still needs to, you know what I did? One of the reasons I put the cod in now, because it needs to get thicker, and the cod has a lot of liquid in it, and it's going to, make the roux a little thinner, and you do not want it thin. So that's going to put the temperature down a bit. Is everybody happy yet? Are you happy?
Quite simple, isn't it?
I'll be happy. Yes, it is.
It has it's a unique flavor, though. It's such an interesting. Yeah. Until you have it, you can't imagine.
It's.
But it's not a Swedish dish. It's you think it's a Portugal dish?
If you look it up, it says it's a Portugal dish, but I mean it's
Portuguese,
something.
I guess.
Yeah, Portuguese, but it's Of course, the Scandinavians eat so much fish, and so they just call it by a different name. But you can actually get this in a restaurant. Come on.
Probably the original was goat's milk, I would imagine. Back in the day.
My Aunt Jenny, who was my father's sister, was allergic to regular milk, and she had to have goat's milk because they had a goat. Remember that? The beeper means that the rice should be done. It needs pepper. And then, actually, if you take too much of the salt out of it, sometimes you might even have to add a little bit of salt. And of course, as you know, this cod could be 10 years old, right? Could it not? I mean, that's how they preserved everything in salt. I mean, gosh. We're so spoiled. Everybody, you just go and buy something. Problem is it's all prepared and then they've got so many preservatives in it, it's bad for you. Which is a sad thing.
So just pepper, that's it?
That's all I put into it. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you know, like I said, once we taste it, if you took too much of the salt out of it, which you probably didn't, you could just add a little bit of it. It's beginning to get thicker. But you see, it has to get, the heat has to be up high. Otherwise, it has to boil, is what it basically is. Yeah. Which is what it's happening. See these whisks? Oh my gosh. Best thing in the world. Because it goes right around the bottom of the pan. And it just, you know, because if you have one that, one that goes like this, you only have this little circle thing that you use.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. See how, see how this is boiling? Now it's thick. See? Now let's add the, I think, do you want it thicker than that, John? Maybe another minute, and then we'll just, put the, ooh, hot. God bless the, do I dare to say it? The gas stove.
Yeah, God bless the gas stove.
Thank you. But we still have one. We cannot make this political. Okay. Now, let's just, I think what we should do is we're going to fold fold this in because we don't want the eggs to disintegrate. Do you know what I mean? We don't want them to. Still seems a little.
Yeah, fold them in. Don't smash them in. Don't mix them in.
Right. So I'm going to get the. Watch me take the thing to fold them in. Oh, have to have a Pampered Chef thing, of course, right?
A Pampered Chef commercial.
One of the best things on the market for those people who enjoy cooking. So we're just going to separate it out the some stuff, of course. After turning that off, John. Can you taste it? See what it tastes like? We have to taste it, see if it really wants salt. It needs more salt, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Definitely more pepper.
So I over rinsed it. Oh.
No, you can't help it. You just don't, you know. And everybody's, and you know, the thing of it is, seriously, John, you should probably taste it because as people get older, this is the truth. Your your taste buds change and you actually would like more salt. So I try not to, I'm very careful with it. So just, here's a spoon.
Wow. Yeah, surprise. It's not as salty as
No.
I'm used to. Yeah, you're right. Wow. So you can really get that salt out by
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a little bit of kosher salt.
Okay.
You want to shut it off?
Sure. Why the kosher salt? Just because
I just like kosher
you just
salt.
like it.
Yeah. We should get a clean spoon.
Okay.
This is Caleb's job. I said I'd take. Oh, come on. There we go.
Okay, Grammy. Here we are.
We're having. It's so much easier to say so-called dinner. Is it?
Yeah.
Than Bacala.
Bacala. Yeah, I always say so-called too.
Bacala.
Nice. Well, thank you for making it.
Oh, you're
Very grateful.
my pleasure.
Yay.